Hello, and thank you for coming back for day 4 of my top tips. And I've got somebody asked me, what do you take to fairs when you are selling? This is for selling. I'll do buying probably tomorrow. So if you're selling at street markets, flea markets, craft fairs, indoor craft fairs, anything like that, what is it that you need to take? So I've just put down, I think I've got 5, but I may have 6, of the essential things that I take to each market to sell. And I would love it if you can comment as well, because there's going to be loads, and there's going to be other little things that you do that I hadn't thought of that might help me as well. So if you are in the van on your way to the craft market, flea market, and you forgot this stuff, what are you going to turn around for? What are the things that you really can't do without, apart from your stock, that is? But so I will run through my things that I need. So first of all, which is these are practical, but this one is just a thing for me, is a bag for, you need I like to take the same bag when I'm selling, and it's one that has got all of the correct pockets and all of the correct orders, and it's big enough for your phone, your notebook, change cash, and note cash, and it's big enough so that it can be filled to the brim. So it's going to be so if I sell everything, I've got a big enough bag to take all the cash. So that was the first one, and it's across the body, and so when you're unloading and stuff, it's out the way. So a handy bag, however you want to do it, whether you're going for like a bum bag or something else, however you want to do it, but keep your cash safe and on you, because I have heard stories of people where the cash has gone missing, because you're going to be really, really busy at fairs. There's going to be a lot of people around. You've got the van open from the other side. You might have popped your cash in the back of the van inside something. So you've worked way too hard for anybody to be taking that off you. So keep your cash safe. So a bag that is useful and also secure is my number 1 tip. And then number 2 is clothes and footwear. So in the morning when we leave, you're leaving home maybe 2:30. You might be overnighting the night before. It could be completely different. Obviously, this is an obvious one, but sorry about that. But completely different weather to when 2:00 in the afternoon. So you might leave in freezing cold rain, and then by 2:00 in the afternoon it's bright sunshine, or vice versa. You wouldn't be arriving, but you might be leaving when it's nice and dry and not too bad, and the forecast has not given so much rain, and then at 2:00 there's downpours and you're cold and wet, and then you're having to load up when you're like that. So that is no fun. So clothes, layers, different layers, waterproofs, able to put on and take off. And footwear, the fields are usually longer grass and a bit wet, so good sturdy footwear. And footwear trainers are not great, because if you're on grass there, you will have wet feet, and then you'll be wet and cold, and you've got to sit there all day like that. Number 3, food and drink. You may not be able to leave your pitch because you're so busy, or the food place is right the other side of the field. It isn't the cheapest either, and it might not be what you want to eat and drink. So another practical one, take loads of food, or not loads, take food and drink for the day for you. And that's my 3rd tip. 4 is tables and tablecloths. So however you want to set out your stall, if you want to go on the floor in boxes, or you're going to use tables and have a nicer display up on the table. Helen gave me a good tip about raising the tables up so they're above waist height, so that's sort of more visually in your face a bit there. the products are. So that was a good tip. So yeah, what are you displaying your stuff on? Tables and tablecloths to make your tables look smart. And then the last one, which is the card machine, or how are your customers going to pay? So my there's 2 tips in with this one is make it easy for the customers to pay you, and you're going to be under pressure. People are going to be they're giving you cash, or they're asking you if you take cards. I have a little sign on my stall that says card payments accepted. I think sometimes you find people will spend more with you, or they'll buy the thing that they may not have done because you'll take a card. So make sure it's easy. If you're accepting bank transfers or PayPal, make sure your details are written down. On your PayPal you can have the QR code so they can just do it, so that you're not having to look through your phone to give them the right details, so that they can be doing that while you're busy with other customers if you've got questions from other customers. So just make it easy for the customer to pay you, and also a bit easier for yourself. So have your payment details written down somewhere, or your big QR code, so that they can pay you easily. And then the tip on the card machine is, if you're got it, and I've had this where you get out of the van, somebody wants to buy something straight away, they want to pay you by card, you haven't loaded your card machine up, so you press it, you turn it on, you find you've got no battery on your machine, so make sure that's all done the night before. And then I've turned it on and it said software update needed. So and then you lose a sale because people aren't going to wait for you. And also it puts you under loads of pressure and you just feel stressed. So when you are in the queue, usually at the fairs, you get some time in the queue, sometimes hours in the queue. So when you're in the queue, just make sure all that's set up. Turn it on, make sure that it's fully charged, make sure there's no software updates needed. And so when you get into the fair, because at the bigger fairs people will be buying off the back of your van, so as soon as you turn up they're going to be buying from you. So just make sure it is sorted and ready to go, so it just takes the pressure off you and makes your life a bit easier. And also they're not having to wait and you don't lose sales based on the fact that you weren't ready. So that's that one. And my last little tip is, if people buy stuff off you and they leave it with you, which they do all the time, make sure you've got their details of the buyer. So sold sticker on the item, and also when you've got loads of sold stickers on stuff, it's attractive to other people because they're like, this must be fantastic stuff. So sold sticker on there, and then take the details of the buyer so that you can give them a little text in the day, because some of the fairs are so big that they will go off and they could be hours before they come back to you, and by that time they may have forgotten. It's happened to me where as a buyer I've forgotten stuff, and as a seller somebody has left stuff and I've been the last person on the site waiting for this person to come. I didn't have the details, and luckily they were local and they'd got all the way home and they'd come back for this thing. So take the details of the buyer, if they'll give them to you. Make sure they've got your details as well, definitely, but take their details so that you can just give them a little call. If all else fails, then you're not waiting around. You've been probably left the house at early hours of the morning, and it's now, so you've been on working sort of 12-13 hours now. The last thing you want to do is be waiting for somebody, wondering whether they have just forgotten and they are going to be coming back or not. So take their details. You can then say, not a problem, you can drop it off on the way home. If they're local, you can arrange for them to come and pick it up from you, or meet at another fair. So those are my tips for selling, but I'd really appreciate your ideas as well, and because I know there'll be loads. And I will see you for day 5 tomorrow, and don't forget you can like and subscribe and follow me and my other videos. So I'll see you soon. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.